Why did you choose marketing and information technology as your specialization in your MBA?
I had to fill information management because it aligns with my backgrounds of analytics, product and consulting.
How did your MBA change your perspective in business as well as strategy?
I did like 100 million revenue last month. Now I am doing 200 million. As an engineer, I would say I have a 50% growth. But now I look at the numbers from every angle.
How did you prepare your resume for the placements?
Resume is built in MBA as a star format.
Can you briefly share your interview experience for a growth and strategy manager role at Noon?
The last round was about creating a marketing strategy for a quick commerce. How will I grow that marketplace? What are the strategies in marketing that I will take? How will I convince customer to shop from me rather than from other platform?
So in the past 1 year, have you ever built a function or a strategy from scratch?
So Supermall is intersection of quick commerce and e-commerce. So you get product 60 to 90 minutes.
So what are the key factors do you consider when you are designing a pricing strategy for a new product in a competitive market?
Let's say I want to launch an air taxi. Nobody has air taxi in this world. How will you price it? Now you will look at various avenues like air taxi will take you to place A to place B. Trains can take you, airplanes can take you, car can take you. What is the optimal cost that will come in between so that more people come and use your service?
So today's guest is someone who proves college degree doesn't define your career. So today's guest is someone who just started his career with a BTech degree from a two-tier engineering college. Then he cracked EY as well as Bain & Co. as a consultant. And then he pursued his MBA in marketing and information technology. And currently he was driving strategy growth in a Middle East Flipkart. So the guest for today's podcast is Pranav Karmakar, where he is currently working as an associate growth and strategy manager at a Middle East Flipkart called Noon. So in this podcast, we will cover his entire journey as a consultant as well as growth and strategy manager. So if you are someone who are planning to pursue your career in consulting as well as strategy roles, make sure you watch this entire podcast. So without any further ado, let's get started. So hi Pranav bro, welcome to the podcast.
Hi Joshua, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good bro. How are you?
All good, all good. Thanks for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to present my thoughts and career journey on this platform. Really looking forward so that people can understand what consulting and my journey has been, and they also get motivated to drive this even though they're from a tier 2 or tier 3 college, and they can achieve the various heights that they want to in their professional journey.
Bro, I also want to thank you because I know you were pretty busy in your schedule as an associate growth and strategy manager. So you have given some of your valuable time for me as well as for my audience. Thank you so much.
Pleasure is all mine.
Yeah. Bro, we will start this podcast with your introduction. So can you briefly introduce about yourself to our audience?
Sure. Hi everyone who is watching this. I am Pranav Karmakar, currently a growth and strategy manager at noon.com. So Noon is Flipkart of Middle East. So we serve in UAE, Saudi and other GCC countries as well. Here I drive various initiatives from marketing, growth, analytics, product interventions for a marketplace called as Supermall. I am working here for more than a year now. Before that, I completed my MBA from SPJIMR, Mumbai. I did my master's in Bachelor's of Administration in Marketing and Information Technology, which is related to product management. And prior to that, I have 3 years of consulting experience at Bain & Company and EY India. At Bain, I was driving various strategic initiatives for B2B go-to-market strategy. And at EY, I was in technology consulting domain, analyzing BFSI industries from analytics viewpoint. I did my BTech from Bharatiya Vidyapeeth College of Engineering. And apart from all this, you can find me creating content on LinkedIn, Instagram. I do a little bit of stand-up comedy and have a lovely opportunity to interact with you guys. Hope you get to learn something and pick my brains on what my journey has been. I feel I am lucky enough to be part where I am, but if I can help few people out here, it will be my pleasure.
So bro, now let us talk about your MBA journey. So before MBA, you are already working at a top consulting firms, which is EY India as well as Bain & Co. So what motivated you to pursue your MBA as you are working at a top consulting firms?
I think, Joshua, this question has been asked by so many people right now because, working at Bain, people are like, Pranav, why did you left up? It was a very high paying job. I never expected that I'll make this kind of money, but it was a very high paying job and I'm grateful for that. But at the same time, I wanted to pivot my career into a more strategy or a proper consulting role where I have the exposure of marketing, I have exposure of product, I know what ops is. So once you start doing these consulting jobs post your BTech, they are restricted to either tech side of it or like building decks, or which is very narrow in nature. What I wanted to know from the industry was how a ops work, how a quick commerce works, how a e-commerce works. Because like career is a marathon, everyone says. It's not a short sprint, right? That I'll run 100 meters and that's done. I have to run like 60 kilometers and like till age of 60 I have to work. So to get the exposure of different things, I never knew how finance works, how ops works. Because at the end of the day, you should have knowledge as an all-rounder rather than a one skill set. Because you initially in your career, you should know how different verticals of a business works. So that's why I wanted to do MBA, because it opens my horizon. The second reason to pursue my MBA was, see, if I am saying that tier 2 and 3 people can reach heights, but I always wanted to get into a tier 1 college from an MBA, because I always thought that there are some of the opportunities which gets restricted because of college. And there were few opportunities which came my way, but they said, no, Pranav, we can't hire you because you are not from a designated IIT or something, NITs like that. And it actually hurt me that, I have a skill set. Bain gave me a chance, but there are so many companies that looks at degree rather than skill set. And it's fair on their part as well, because India has a massive population. You have to filter it out. So I thought I'll give my heart and soul for CAT. I want to crack a tier 1 B school, like top 10 B school I had in my mind. I always wanted knowledge because there are different, I have always interacted with engineers during my 3 years in Bain and EY. I was interacting with engineers only. So the different perspective to how a psychology student thinks, how a BCom honor student thinks, how a art student thinks. So different kind of people actually come into MBA and you get to learn a lot from them. So if you see, that was my 3 major reasons to do an MBA. And once I got into SPJIMR, I think it's top 10 B schools in India. At that point, I never even thought that I should continue my job, because obviously 2 years I will be without pay. I will be paying money to get studied. But I have to look my career from a long-term lens. What are the degrees that will help me? What are the industry I want to be in? If I want to be in quick commerce industry, maybe right now from consulting to a quick commerce or an e-commerce, maybe this BTech might not help. MBA will add a push. And Joshua, I'll be very honest, and to all the people who are watching, at this point, everyone has 2 degrees in their hand. And I had that insecurity. If I have only 1 degree, will it restrict my career in long term? So just to safeguard my career in long term, I pursued MBA. So these are some of the reasons where I said, let's go and do an MBA. It might be waste, it might be good, but my heart says I should do it. So sometimes my mom also says that follow what your heart says.
Bro, you have a very good reasons to pursue your MBA. So it is good for you. So bro, if you look into MBA, we have so many specializations in MBA. So in your MBA, why did you choose marketing and information technology as your specialization in your MBA? And also, what are the skills you gained in your MBA?
Okay, so just a brief context for people who might not know how SPJIMR works. So before filling your CAT form, you have to choose your major specialization, which was information technology plus information management. Because they want people who come with a relevant background in that stream, and they gain more knowledge out of it. So before filling my CAT form and everything, I had to fill information management because it aligns with my backgrounds of analytics, product, and consulting. Now, once that was finalized, I went on to do my MBA. So that was finalized. So first year, it's very common. It's across all the specializations people have offered. First year is a general MBA. You learn about HR, you learn about operations, you learn about finance. I was very bad at finance. I should quote it here. Not the grades that I want to show off. That this is something you realize when you actually do it, right? And now if you see, I learned about marketing and I learned about different specs of, there was one of the course which was called Journey to Self Mastery, which actually questions you as your existence, how you want to do in life. So marketing was one of the things that actually intrigued me, because there are so many campaigns that we live with, right? The washing powder Nirma campaign, the Kit Kat and Cadbury campaigns, we remember the Silk campaign. So whenever I used to read case studies in my B school, I always used to remember, oh, I have seen this. Oh, as a kid, I have seen this, because of your memory and all that. And then I had that excitement that I also want to create. I want to get into marketing and I want to learn the art of marketing. So I already had information management. I chose marketing as another specialization because I thought I'm very close to it. I'm very, very creative person because I do stand-up comedy. I write on LinkedIn. So this is something, creating content is marketing yourself, which is called personal branding. So I thought, let's do marketing. I'm very close to it. So that's why the reason these two specialization, but we learn across the spectrum, how ops is. Like many people might not know that ops is very important cog for any business, which is like, we use Blinkit, Swiggy every day. Ops is the vital cog for it. How delivery rider reaches you, how much inventory we have to maintain, then these small things. But coming to the broader things, what I learned in these two specialization, I'll start with marketing. I learned what a digital marketing is, and how Google campaigns is, how distribution is maintained. Second, I learned about CRM. Everyone I think receives here push notifications from brand. So how does that work? How the psychology behind marketing works? We learned the art of 4 P's. I think mostly people know people, product, price, and promotions are like important cogs of marketing. Then I learned on the fact that how ATL and BTL. So not many people might know ATL is your above the line marketing, which is your billboards. You see a larger billboards. I learned this art. Like these are very short. You see it every day. But these are the skill sets that some people is working day and night to have that written so that it grasps your attention. So that is the fight everyone is fighting, to take your attention, because your attention span is less and there are thousands of brand running after you to grab their attention. So these are some of the things, how to grab those attentions, how to learn the art of marketing, and how marketing is changing across times. So that is one. Now coming to information management, it was mostly driven by analytics. What are the analytics tools in the industry? Like Tableau, Power BI, Alteryx, and all these tools were there. And second was how product management is, how a product is built. A Blinkit app or a Swiggy app. Or have you seen the Make My Trip app? These are apps that are called product. You are using it day and day. How the customer journey is. Customer starts by logging in, customer exits by buying thing, or maybe customer closes the app. How the customer journey looks like. How a product manager gives you a feature. I think Zomato did this very interesting feature of, having the rating designed in a way that is very relevant for you. It's a very small feature, but there must be like months of effort of a product manager that goes in. So we use those features every day and it impacts our life, and how a small feature can actually increase your revenue, decrease your customer acquisition cost. So these are smaller things that I learned during my information management stint. Product analytics, how your user generated analytics. So what you say on the platform is very different, and how we interpret is very different. So how to go about it. And so these are very small things that people might think that MBA might not be useful, but these are some of the things that I've gained and I'm still learning. It's not like I've learned everything. It's on the job training as well. You learn a lot of things, you navigate. But I think the most important thing that MBA has taught me, Joshua, is how to manage time and how to manage stakeholders, because there was crispier deadlines at 12 and there were deadlines, multiple projects at hand, multiple people shouting at you that you have to do this, you have to get placed, you have to do projects, you have to win case competition. So I think these are two important skills apart from the obviously academia skills that we have gained. I think stakeholder management and time management is two important skills that we have learned.
So finally, you had so many new learnings in your MBA. So bro, if you look into your MBA, so before that your MBA, you are mainly worked with the data, which is a analytics role. So in that, you are completely worked with data, and also you said in this question you have mainly worked with the engineers. So before that you don't know much about a business. So you have pursued your MBA. So after your MBA, how did your MBA change your perspective in business as well as strategy?
Yes, I think another great question, but I think in terms of thinking, it has changed a lot. Like I'm thinking very critically now. So earlier I used to get data, I used to run some iterations and get it and just give it to the stakeholders. I didn't make sense of it much. And as an engineer myself, I had to make a prettier dashboard, how the numbers look like. But how the things have changed is I now look numbers as insights. Like let's say I did 100 million revenue last month. Now I am doing 200 million. As an engineer, I would say I have a 50% growth. But now I look at the numbers from every angle as well. Okay, 50%. How did I grow? Maybe there was some big sale that was happening. Maybe some of the products, like let's say these days Labubu and Stanley Cups are getting viral and people are buying it left, right, center. So was there a new product in the market that people are buying it? Did we do something in marketing that actually stood out? Or was it because more people have joined our app and that's why they're subscribing to it? That's why the number has increased. So now I look at more from a business angle that why this number has increased or why this number has decreased. And if it makes sense, I have an answer. Okay, this is why this number is increasing and it might not increase next month. So I set the expectation of stakeholder also, right? That this happened, it was one anomaly and then it stagnated. Like in travel industry, you see the growth, right? Suddenly everyone was coming because of post-COVID curve. And right now, Air India crash happened and it was sad for the entire country. But if you look at from the insights end, the travel industry in May shrank by 2 percentage points. See how the correlation of something which happened somewhere else happened to your platform or some data as well. So that's how you correlate business understanding.
So what you are saying is your MBA was helped you to see in a different perspective of the data. So bro, finally you have completed your first year and also you have entered your second year as well. So in these 2 years, you have gained a few skills and you have learned something new in the 2 years. So now it's time for the placements. So how did you prepare your resume for the placements?
How the resume gets updated is, I'll talk about the B schools, how the process is. So you need to have proof of what you have done in your previous organizations, the projects you do in first year of your MBA, plus the internships you have done post your MBA. So these are some of the things that comes into your resume. Mostly it's all about how you can present your resume in a better way. Let's say I am saying I did an automation exercise. I automated a Excel using a tool called as Alteryx and it saved company $10 million. How did it save it? We need to justify it, right? Then what happens is every point that I have done across my work experience, I jot it down. Then I create one-liner of the point. It should fit. First, create an exhaustive list of what have you done. Once you have done that, try to create your points across internships, across projects, across your work experience, across your education and the awards and accomplishment and extracurricular activities. So these 5 headers you have to have in your resume. And the last one, which is position of responsibility. So some people are head of some cultural fest, some is head of sports fest. So what have you done in life? So resume should tell a story. That I did this job, I learned this. I did this job, I learned this. I was part of this position. Let's say I was head of logistics. I handled 1,000 people. If I'm head of sponsorship, I brought in like 50 lakh. So resume is built in MBA as a star format. Star format, what is a star format? Or they call it as SCAR as well. Star is your, what was the situation you were in? What was the task? Let's say situation, task. A is what are the actions or what are the things you did and what is the result. So your CV pointer should have all these 4 metrics, like what was the situation, what was the task. So situation was my company was bleeding money by using Excel. Task was to automate it. Action is I had used a tool called as Alteryx to automate that tool. Result is my company saved $10 million. Just an example. Every point should be in this format called as star. In the 5 broader buckets, which is your education, your work experience, if you have any, or internships can be combined, position of responsibilities, the projects you did, and then finally your extracurricular achievement. Why extracurricular achievement? Because you want to showcase to the recruiter that I am not just someone who just works. I have a different personality as well. Like I like to do gym, I like to do stand-up comedy, I like to do XYZ things. So that is how everyone should create their resume. Their personality should reflect that I'm a hardworking guy, but I am a fun guy too. Whatever they want to showcase. I am very diligent. I am very resilient. These are the things that should come out of your resume. So somebody reading it know that, oh, this is the guy I want to talk to. I'm not saying they'll select you, but at least you'll give a chance to talk to you. So these are the things that someone should work on their resume.
Yeah, bro, like you have said very clearly, like how someone can prepare the resume for MBA placements. So bro, like you finally created your resume for your placements. So can you please tell us like how is the recruitment process look like for a strategic roles?
Okay, strategic role or a consulting role, it mainly consists of 3 to 4 rounds. Okay, first round is basically getting to know you, introduce yourself, how are you in general as a person. They need to understand from the first round. It's a kind of a buddy call or a catch-up call, which they understand how as a person you are. From the second, or maybe depends on company to company, the process is different, but I get to that as well. Second round is basically case solving. Case solving is, so there are multiple cases for strategies. How to enter a new market, how to price a product, and third is how to grow a business. Fourth is how actually you want to do a mergers and acquisition case. Fifth is like mixture of all this. This is called case studies. So you can refer to YouTube. There are various channels which explains these cases. These are called consulting cases or case studies. So companies will come and let's say ask you, I am launching a new Coca-Cola bottle, can you price it for me? I am entering a new market, let's say Bangladesh, and how should we enter? So these are some of the cases which you can find on YouTube. The third can be guesstimate, in whatever the order is. Guesstimate is something where I ask you how many planes land on Mumbai airport, how many potholes are in Mumbai or in Delhi, how many pizzas are sold across India. So these are your estimate where they actually test how you break down your problem, how you are good with numbers, and how closely you can actually reach out to that number. It's a top to bottom approach. Like you break the problem into smaller problems and then finally came to an answer. And the fourth, which is your HR or a partner round, where partner will know that what kind of work you will do, or some people call it as, bar raiser round as well. In Noon, it's called bar raiser. So they will ask you different questions where the challenges you faced in life, strength and weaknesses. So, and across these 4 rounds, it can happen. All the 4 rounds are case studies, or there are some guesstimates and they don't ask you about strength or weaknesses. So it depends on company to company, but the 4 broader things that I told you, case studies, guesstimate, you should know about yourself, and in general the introductory session. So these 4 things, if you are prepared well, which are called HR questions as well, strength, weakness, introduce yourself, and then you should be good enough to be ready for any strategy or a consulting role in MBAs.
So bro, like can you briefly share your interview experience for a growth and strategy manager role at Noon?
Sure bro. So in Noon, I went through 6 rounds. average it's 4, but they were like figuring out where they want to push me. So there were 6 rounds in Noon. First round, obviously I'll tell you how the experience was. It was back to back. Like on first day I gave back to back 5 interviews. Okay. So first round had like a case where they wanted to solve a problem for profitability, right? Let's say a company is going through, let's say, want to increase their profit share. How can they do it? So that was first question that was asked me. The second question was about how to grow a category. So a growth consulting case where they thought that they are introducing a new category, sports and outdoor, and how they can grow the category on the e-commerce platform. Third was more about, as I said, the casual chit chat, and people wanted to know about me and all that. So third round was about that. Fourth round was about guesstimate. They wanted to know how many people are actually watching IPL. Let's say they want to launch IPL on Noon platform. How many people will watch it? So that was a guesstimate question. Another round happened where they were asking me about how e-commerce is, what my knowledge about e-commerce and quick commerce is. Do I understand various jargons about quick commerce and e-commerce? So they were testing my knowledge about e-commerce. The last round was about creating a marketing strategy for a quick commerce. They were about to launch a quick commerce platform, which I'm working right now. So now that I know it is very relevant for me, how will I grow that marketplace? What are the strategies in marketing that I will take? How will I convince customer to shop from me rather than from other platform? And that was like, that case study ran for an hour because we discussed a lot of things that we can do. And they wanted to analyze that which are the marketing channels best initially and give me a long-term growth plan as well. Like what are the things we can do post that. So yeah, these were 6 rounds. Might seem like that there were a lot, and like 5 back-to-back rounds. I think I lost hope after 5th round because I was mentally exhausted. But I think my persistence paid off. They said that, we want to just have another round, and that's why I converted Noon.
So bro, like finally you cracked Noon for strategy as well as growth manager. So bro, now we will talk few questions about like a strategic roles as well as your thought process as a growth and strategy manager. So if you look into strategic roles, like there are like a wide range of strategic roles like a corporate, business, product as well as growth. So can you please elaborate like what is the difference between these roles?
Okay, so growth role in general across startup, I will not say about Noon, because I will say generally how the benchmark is. Growth role across startups are about marketing. It can have multiple marketing things. One can be CRM, which is customer relationship management, which is your emails, push notifications, WhatsApp. So this is one team. Another team is DM, digital marketing, which is digital marketing can be classified into 2 major things. One is performance ads, which you see on Google ads. Google ads are called performance ads. And then there are branding channels. Branding is where you don't expect much conversion, people buy, but just to make your brand awareness increased across platforms, which can be Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. So these are the DM, digital marketing channel. Then the third, as I said, ATL and BTL, above the line marketing, below the line. Below the line is you do a activation for your brand in a very small mall where you have 1,000 people as a footfall, so that they can see, and in a very targeted manner. You can have games, you can have your cards and everything. ATL is your billboards. So these are the different kinds of marketing in growth role. Then comes a product manager within these startups manage the product. Let's say products can be different, like within, let's say, I'll give you an example of Blinkit, which people will relate. Blinkit might have different products. So there is a search team who works on improving your search results. What are the products they want to show? Then there are team which are actually for payments, how your payment gateway looks like and payments is. And these are just small examples, and these are very vast topics, and we might cover in detail. You can read it on Google or ChatGPT. Then there is a team which actually looks after the entry flow when you log in on your app and put your address and everything. So there is a separate team which looks at addressing and all. Then there are some games that you play on the platform. So these are the like most of the teams are like introducing a gaming team separately so that they can create a game within the app so people can win and shop. So to increase the retention. Then there are different teams on customer point of view, customer retention, where people who are there, you have to retain them. Customer acquisition, you have to acquire new customer. And customer reactivation. So let's say a customer is now churned, like it's not on their platform. How you can bring them back? By giving them offers, by sending them WhatsApp or something like that. So this is something different teams look at. Then there is called on-site, which is how your app looks like. The banners you see on the app, different banners on a Blinkit or a Swiggy or something like that, that is there. So there's a separate team for that. And then there are designers who work on these designs and create those beautiful apps for you. And then there are teams who look after your analytics as well. How the numbers are looking, where the growth is coming, which category is performing well. Then there are finance, who looks after your finance. Then there like how the numbers is, where the money should be go, and how the money has been spent. And finally there is ops, who gives and delivers you order and maintain the dark stores, we say, or the mega stores across those. So these are different kind of things that are there from growth, product, customer, marketing perspective that one can expect in these such kind of roles.
So bro, like you are currently working as a growth and strategy manager at Noon for the past 1 year. So in the past 1 year, like have you ever built a function or a strategy from scratch? If yes, like how did you approach it?
Okay, I might not be able to quote numbers, but I can give you some gist of it. Is one of the things that we did in Noon was launch this new marketplace that I'm working on, was Supermall. So Supermall is intersection of quick commerce and e-commerce. So you get products within 60 minutes, 60 to 90 minutes. So we have increased some time and we have more assortment. Let's say in a dark store of a quick commerce like a Swiggy, they can have like 10,000 individual products. We can have 40-50,000 because we have 1 hour of delivery and we can cover more area. So when I joined, there was nothing called a Supermall. They were about to launch. So I built a go-to-market strategy. How should we enter into the market? How should we, like which are the markets we should enter? So we entered 2 markets, UAE and KSA. How should we grow in these markets? What are the things that we want to communicate? So things, because you have to stand out from other apps, right? So apps like, so we build key USPs like instant delivery, 2x refund. So what people were facing issues is beauty and health products. People feel on e-commerce, they're fake in general. So we wanted to solve for it. So we started QCing sellers. We said that, and we gave customers the guarantee, we'll give 2x of your money back. 2x of your money back means if you find a product fake, we'll give, if your product is of let's say 100 rupees, we'll give you 200 back. That is the trust and authenticity we have. We collaborated with brands. We wanted to make it as a branded marketplace so that people don't go to mall. So we created a strategy. How should we launch? When should we launch? What are the things that will require from product, from ops, from on-site? So we created an entire go-to-market strategy. And initially, it was becoming a challenge how to communicate it to the customers once we launched it. But eventually we cracked the marketing code, that people actually believes in authenticity a lot more. See, we calling out authenticity. We are authentic. And we also give you in 60 minutes. So if you have forgotten something, like in a quick commerce, you might find grocery. But where we wanted to tap on was beauty, health, fashion, and your grocery as well, with side that people have some time, like they can wait for an hour, and if they can wait for an hour, they can get the entire e-commerce within an hour. So that was the plan. We built it, and now I think we are very successful within 1 year. From I think we started with few stores. Now it is in double digits. Like I can't quote the numbers because it's not out in the open, but the growth has been good. Supermall has been like appreciated. People are loving it. I read the comments on Reddit, on Twitter, people are praising it. So it feels that what we have done, I'm not saying I have done it alone. There are team members that are associated with it. And it's a team of like 15-20 odd folks who have built this. And I think I just give the credit to the team who has been great to execute this strategy that I have built, and hopefully more orders and more revenue in the next coming years.
So, bro, like in the previous questions, like you have said, like you have learned about how to price a product in your MBA. So, for example, let us consider you are building a new product and you have to price for that product. So, what are the key factors do you consider when you are designing a pricing strategy for a new product in a competitive market?
Insightful question. I think many people might not be aware, but pricing is very complicated. It's not a straightforward ask. But there are few things that anyone who is approaching this problem should look at. One is what you say is competitor, how your competitor is priced. That is like the important benchmark, because if you price too high or too low you won't make margins, too high people won't come to you. So that is one. Let's say your competitor is not there. The second way to look at it is how much cost it is incurring you. Let's say you are making a product for 100 rupees right now and you want to earn a 20% margin. So you do all the maths to calculate how much cost it, and then you add your margin and then price it. The third is your substitute pricing, or like let's say I don't know in this market. Let's say I have built a Diet Coke. It's very new product. I haven't seen it, but I would like to price it as close to as a Coke so that people try it and buy it, because I want people to try it. So Diet Coke and normal Coke is different, but I want people to try it. So the substitute of Diet Coke is Coke. So I'll try to price it as closer to it. So that is called substitute pricing, where you see the closest competitor. And similar example is, let's say I want to launch an air taxi. Nobody has air taxi in this world. How will you price it? Now you will look at various avenues, like air taxi will take you to place A to place B. Trains can take you, airplanes can take you, car can take you. What is the optimal cost that will come in between so that more people come and use your service, and then and they also being retained and not use the other mode of transport. Just an example. So these are three kinds of strategy that people can actually go ahead and do pricing, which one is competitor, obviously. The second, as I said, is your cost, the cost you are putting in the margin. The third is substitute, or the closest proxy to it, where you can actually get the price estimate. So you have to run the maths, and it's a trial and error. Like maybe you crack it in one time, but I haven't seen people crack it unless the company is huge, like a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola or something else. So you have to learn from the art and see how the data is responding, and then act accordingly if your pricing is working well.
So, bro, like in this previous question only, like you have said, you have worked on Supermall product, so which is a new product from your company. So, like for example, when you are building a new product, like how do you define and execute a successful go-to-market strategy when you are building a new product?
Okay, there are three key levers to it. One, you have to understand whether market is right fit for that product or not. Market attractiveness, which is called TAM, total addressable market. Is your TAM huge to make that product? If yes, and if there is a white space with them. What do I mean by white spaces? If there is an opportunity, let's say there is 100 million opportunity and 20 million is tapped and you feel 80 million is untapped. So then it's a huge opportunity, right? So one is your market attractiveness, which I said you can calculate by guesstimating it. You can't actually have a right number, but it's an estimate at the end of the day. The second is financial feasibility. Financial feasibility is basically how much money you have in your bank, how much money investors are putting in, and how much money your company is making in general. And once you put that money in this product, will you get the returns out of it, and when you will get the return out of it. So there is a payout period. Let's say I say after 5 years I will be break even, then I'll start making money. So you have to understand from the lens of 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, when you start making money. That is called financial sense of launching a product. The third, which is very important, is operational feasibility. If I want to launch a quick commerce app in the Middle East, I should have stores available. I should have delivery partners who deliver those products. I have the operational readiness to actually launch the product, right? So these three. And the fourth and the most important one is your government and patents and agencies. Whether your government is aligned with your vision, because obviously it has to go through government if you are living in a country and you want to launch a product. If your government is against it and it's not a thing, they think that it is viable, or they don't allow it, then it doesn't make sense at all. So any agency or government Then these 4 factors come into play while assessing the market opportunity. I will not say all 4 market opportunities might make sense initially. Few will, few won't of these 4 parameters. And if you have, and then it depends on execution. Obviously, strategy is important, but execution of that strategy becomes very important. If you execute it right, maybe even if the 2 boxes are ticked, other 2 will tick eventually. Or if 1 box is ticked, if you have that conviction. But you should analyze on all 4 parameters and then take a call.
So bro, let us consider a person like who just completed his MBA and he just want to enter into strategy roles. So for him, like how much salary one can expect as an entry level strategy manager?
I'll not give my number for sure. I'll give a random number for sure. Okay, let's say you pass it out from a tier 1B school, because obviously, love it or hate it, tier 1 are paid more than a tier 2 or tier 3, but you can work hard and reach there. That's the only thing I would. For a tier 1B school across India, I'm talking only in India, around, let's say, there are top 10 B schools of India, IIMs, SP, Excel and FMS. You can expect a CTC. I'm quoting CTC. So CTC is around 35 lakhs. 30 to 35 lakhs you can expect in a strategy role. So the number will range between 30 to 35. As soon as you go into tier 2, these opportunities lessen and your number goes to 15 to 20. That is the number you can expect in lakhs per annum. And as you go to tier 3, it is less than 10, but mostly in tier 3, such opportunities are not available because these roles are very few. For every company, you have 10 or 20 analytics, 40, 50 engineers, but only 1 or 2 strategy managers. So there's a scarcity of the role. That's why the pay is high, but that's what you can expect in this range and you can make money out of it. So like, depends where you end up, but mostly in 30 to 35 and then 15 to 20 is the optimal range that we go in while building, like starting your career, and it can increase exponentially.
So bro, like you did your BTech, which is a 4-year degree. After that, you worked at EVA India as well as Bain & Co for 3 years. After that, you did your MBA, which is again 2 years. And currently you are working as a growth and strategy manager at Noon for almost 1 year. So bro, like you have like a 10-year journey from your BTech till today. So like in these 10 years, like what books or podcasts or habits that influenced you most in your career?
I used to read a lot of fiction books. But what I'll say, if you want to learn about how Indian business are evolving, please watch Nikhil Kamat's podcast. Nikhil Kamat podcast is a gold mine to learn business and how Indian industry is. I listen to it a lot, and I think it has given me immense knowledge across industries. So if somebody wants to learn about Indian landscape and believe in India concept, Nikhil Kamath is a great. I won't suggest which are very normal podcasts or something like that, but listen to, and in terms of books, I prefer to read The Hindu, the newspaper, which gives me immense knowledge. Always read the editorial section. It has actually helped me gain a perspective of life. That is another thing. The third book that I have read is Rich Dad Poor Dad. I think most of them must have read it. It's a great book. You learn a lot from it. I think the next book that I want to read is Wings of Fire, which is APJ Abdul Kalam biography, if I'm correct. Don't thrash me in the comment section, but I think it's a biography, Wings of Fire, or autobiography, if I'm not sure. But I really like that person a lot. So these are some of the things that have actually helped me. I started reading with fiction. Now I am going to, and one last book that I will suggest, Freakonomics. Many people might not know about it. Please read Freakonomics. You will understand how economics in this world work and how you can make money out of it. So these are some of the things that I think you should listen. And like, I don't follow podcasts a lot because it's across the spectrum and many people will say something and it's very random. Sometimes I want to learn about crypto. I will hear some podcast from someone from England. So it depends on what I want to see right now. So many Indians might not even know what crypto, and not many people are talking because it's not the hype. But these are some of the things. For marketing, I suggest one book, please, for everyone who wants to be a marketer or how marketing is done. Please read Philip Kotler. It's a goldmine for marketers. Please read that book. And like, I think one day if I become very successful enough and people know me, I will just give that book to everyone who wants to be in marketing. I have read it, I learned from it, I still have it from my MBA days. So these are few of the books that you guys can read if you have time, else audiobooks are your way to go.
So bro, this is the final question for this podcast. So like, what is the best piece of advice you will give to someone who just want to enter into consulting roles as well as strategic roles?
Okay, first advice, which is very generic, but people say, please don't forget to smile. Please smile and be happy. That's what I can say. You will get the role, you will get those jobs, you will get that college, you will get that degree. That's fine. Be happy, smile. The second I'll say is read a lot. If you read, you will form a perspective. As I said, I read the Hindu a lot. You can read any newspaper or you can read any magazine which you like. There are Aeon articles which I read during for my prep for my MBA. It builds perspective. That's what I'll say. The more you read, the more you get to know about. And I think this thing that I wanted to do earlier in my life and I wasn't, I started reading non-fiction a little later. But if you have time, start reading non-fiction a little earlier if you are into reading or you want to develop a habit of reading. The third is have hope and have patience. As everyone says, and it's a very cliche line, that Rome was not built in a day. It will take time. Now you are hearing me on this podcast and you might have seen me. I hope you have seen me on LinkedIn, but you can follow me. That's what I'll say. But I am saying it has taken me, as Joshua said, 10 years. And now that he said it, now I am realizing it. It's 10 years. It's a long time. Rome was not built in a day. My career was not built in a day. And it's still evolving and I'm still learning. Have patience. Things will fall into the place. And the last advice, listen to the entire podcast and you will learn a lot from it. Else you can obviously reach out to me separately. I can help you. I try to help people as much as I can because I never had someone who were there. So when I needed the most. So that's why I help a lot of people. So I hope I have added some value to it.
So Pranav bro, thank you so much for giving your valuable time, and you have given plenty of information for someone who just want to enter into consulting roles or strategy roles. So you have given some of your valuable information and also you have given your valuable time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joshua. Thank you for having me. Thank you everyone for watching this.
So guys, I hope you like this podcast. If you like this podcast, give it a like for this podcast, and also please share your opinion in the comments, and also please share this podcast with your friends and relatives. And also I will upload this kind of podcasts in the future. So if you want to be notified for this podcast, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications just by hitting that bell icon. So this is your Joshua Kamalakar signing off.